Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're setting our sights on one of the oldest and, frankly, most fascinating constellations up there, Aquarius, the water bearer. It's this incredible patch of sky that's just brimming with cosmic wonders and ancient myths. So, let's dive right in. I know, right? It sounds like the setup for some wild fantasy novel. But believe it or not, the answer is hidden in a single constellation. All of these incredible stories and mind-blowing discoveries are woven into the very fabric of Aquarius. And today, we're going to unravel them together. So, here's our game plan. First, we'll cover the basics of what Aquarius actually is. Then we'll take a tour of its most amazing cosmic sights. After that, we'll dive into the ancient myths it inspired, and we'll wrap things up with a quick check to see what we've learned. Okay, so first things first. What exactly is Aquarius, and where in the world, or the sky, can we actually find it? Well, Aquarius is a pretty big constellation, and it's part of the zodiac. That just means it sits on the path the sun seems to take across the sky all year. Now, its most famous feature isn't actually its brightest star, but this small Y-shaped pattern of stars known as the jar. And here's a cool little fact. The star right at the center of that jar, Zeta Aquarii, it's not one star. It's a binary system. Two stars locked in a gravitational dance with each other. So, if you want to try and spot it for yourself, you'll want to mark your calendars. The absolute best time to see Aquarius is during those late summer evenings, especially in August and September. Oh, and for a real treat, look up in late July. You might just catch the Delta Aquariid meteor shower, where it looks like shooting stars are just pouring out from the constellation. But Aquarius is so much more than just a pattern of stars you can see with your eyes. I mean, if we look deeper, if we use some powerful telescopes, we find this whole collection of absolutely incredible cosmic treasures hidden inside its borders. On our little cosmic tour, we're going to be making 4 amazing stops. A massive ancient star cluster, 2 ghostly nebula that are basically the beautiful remnants of dead stars, and a nearby star system that, honestly, completely changed how we think about alien planets. Our first stop is Messier 2, or just M2 for short. Now, this isn't just a few stars hanging out. It's a globular cluster. I want you to picture a giant, shimmering ball of hundreds of thousands of ancient stars, all packed together by their own gravity. It's one of the oldest and most massive things in our entire galaxy. Just incredible. Next up, we've got 2 of the most famous planetary nebulae in the sky. And despite the name, they have absolutely nothing to do with planets. They're actually these beautiful, glowing shells of gas that were puffed out by stars like our sun during their final moments. The Saturn Nebula gets its name from these faint, ring-like structures, and the Helix Nebula, it's so huge and close that people sometimes call it the Eye of God. Okay, now for something that was a total game changer. This is Gliese 876. It's a pretty faint red dwarf star. So what's the big deal? Well, it was one of the very first red dwarfs, which, by the way, is the most common type of star in the galaxy, that we ever confirmed had planets orbiting it. This discovery just blew the doors wide open for finding exoplanets. So how many planets did we find? Not 1, not 2 or 3. We found 4 confirmed worlds orbiting that single, tiny red dwarf. This was a landmark discovery. It proved that even the most common, dimmest stars in the galaxy could host entire families of planets. All right, so from cutting-edge science, let's take a journey way back in time. For thousands of years, people have stared up at these exact same stars and told stories. So let's explore some of the powerful myths tied to Aquarius. This line right here, it's from one of the foundational myths of ancient Greece. It's a story of total destruction and incredible rebirth that the ancients connected to this very constellation. So the story goes like this. Zeus gets completely fed up with how awful humanity has become and decides to just wipe the slate clean with a massive flood. But the Titan Prometheus warns his son, Deucalion, who builds an ark. After 9 days of rain and flooding, he and his wife Pyrrha are the only survivors. They ask Zeus how to repopulate the world, and they're told to throw the bones of their mother, which they figure out means the stones of Mother Earth, over their shoulders. And just like that, a new race of humans is born. Deucalion was then placed among the stars as Aquarius. But wait, there's another famous story. This one is about Ganymede, a Trojan prince who was apparently so handsome that Zeus himself was just smitten. He sent an eagle to snatch the boy and carry him up to Mount Olympus.
There, Ganymede was made immortal and given the very important job of being the cupbearer to the gods, pouring out their divine nectar from, you guessed it, a jar.
What's so fascinating is how these two myths give the very same constellation completely different vibes. The story of Deucalion is all about survival, hardship, destruction, and ultimately renewal. But the Ganymede story, that's all about beauty, youth, getting picked for a special job, and immortality. Two very different takes on the same stars. All right, we have covered a lot of ground, from deep sky astronomy to ancient mythology. So let's do a quick little recap to see what stuck. First question. Think back to that recognizable star pattern we talked about right at the beginning. What do we call it? You got it. It's the jar, where the celestial water-bearer pours out his water. And for question number 2, which myth tells the story of that handsome young man who was taken to Olympus to serve the gods? That's the one. It was Ganymede, the Trojan prince. Well done. So, to wrap this all up, Aquarius is a zodiac constellation that's perfect for late summer stargazing. It's way more than just stars. It's a celestial aquarium full of deep sky wonders like the Helix Nebula. It also holds the super important Gliese 876 star system. And for thousands of years, it's carried our stories of both world-ending floods and eternal life. And that kind of leaves us with one last really big thought. For millennia, we've filled the night sky with stories about our gods and heroes. But as we start discovering real worlds out there, like the 4 planets orbiting Gliese 876 right there in Aquarius, what new stories, what new myths will we start to tell? Something to think about. Thanks for watching.